like to call this meeting to order of the Town of Pelletier Board of Commissioners. It is 6:45, Monday, February 9th, 2026. Roll call.
Walter Vincent.
Here.
Nikki Kuchasik. Dale Stowers. Sonny Mason.
Here.
Donna Beerley.
Here.
David Gray.
Here.
Do I hear a motion to excuse Nikki?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's all stand for the pledge and invocation, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Walter?
That's correct. Father God, we come tonight thanking you, Lord Jesus, for all that you have done for us and all that you've done for this town especially. We ask you, Lord, for your guidance and everything that we do and we say in this meeting tonight and always for this town. And we want you to bless this town as you have been doing. Forgive us, Lord, for we've fallen short. We ask this in the name of Jesus, our precious Savior. Amen.
All right, before we approve the agenda, I want to add two things. Before departments report, I'd like to add David Quinn. Ms. Scott, would you like to speak?
Sure.
And Ann Scott, after that, please. And then under new business, I'd like to add change meeting time. If there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Sorry. Don't call me out there in left field.
That's all right. So if you don't say it, you answer roll call. So if you don't vote, it's an automatic yes.
Okay.
So, all right, approval of the minutes of your January 5th, 2026 meeting. Everybody's had a chance to read the minutes. If there's no changes, do I hear a motion to approve as written?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next then, Mr. Quinn. All right. If you would like to address the board and everybody that's here. And we got you on Facebook.
Oh, great.
It'd be on Facebook and our webpage. So.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for having me out. Mr. Beerley had asked me to come out and talk a little bit about an initiative that she's been working on for a very long time that we hopefully will bring to fruition here very soon. But I can't walk through that front door without smelling garlic bread. I expect to see Mr. Pete Mazzella in here when I walk through that door. One of my favorite places to eat when I was young and growing up. I thought this was the fanciest restaurant in the world. Yep. When I was a youngin', coming in here with mom and daddy. So I still can't come in and not think about them. But in all seriousness here, first talk about a traffic issue that Commissioner Beerley has had great concern about at the intersection of the Pelletier Loop Road and the West Fire Tower Road. And y'all had passed a resolution at your last month's meeting addressing this to the DOT. And I have been working with our county manager, assistant county manager, and we have drafted a resolution that I will be presenting to my fellow commissioners this coming Monday on February 16th, President's Day meeting. And we will then hopefully, and I don't believe we want to have much opposition, get that resolution passed in order to ask for the DOT to make much needed changes at that rather dangerous intersection, which has caused a lot of traffic problems and needs to be taken care of as quickly as possible. And this is certainly an initiative begun by Commissioner Beerley. We met with Representative Celeste Karen. She has since passed on the resolution that y'all had passed last month, and then we'll follow that up with from the county. And hopefully this will spur the DOT on to make those changes. So, yeah, I've learned something that's frustrating when you get into government, and that's just how slow the wheels of government can turn. But if you don't keep cranking, they will never turn. And so that's what we're trying to do. So I want to thank Commissioner Beerley for bringing that to our attention, and certainly bringing that out to Celeste Karen's attention. And she was very diligent in getting that passed. Y'all have any questions about the resolution passed from the county? Yes.
It's not on the resolution.
Okay.
Any word on the changing the zip code?
Great, thank you. Another initiative begun at the town level, passed on to the county level. This is something that we passed in our last month's meeting, a resolution asking for the United States Postal Service to create a new zip code for the western end of the county, as well as provide a post office for the west end of the county. So if you live down here, closest post office you got, and I live here too, so you've got to go clear to Newport, cross the bridge to Emerald Isle, or all the way to Swansboro. And there's several reasons behind this. One, and the most important to me, is the potential for confusion when it comes to an emergency call, a 911 call. Thankfully, we've not had anything like that happen, but the potential for it happening, one life is too important for something like that to be at risk just due to a confusion as far as a Swansboro address for a local person. Another is the confusion associated with the deliveries that you might get. Sometimes I know folks that are depending on an important delivery, whether it be medicine from the VA, they can't have that going to a wrong address simply because it's confused as a result of it being an Onslow County, Swansboro address here in the western part of the county. And so there's two personal concerns as far as the health and safety and convenience of people are my primary concerns with it. And then next is taxes, sales tax, that not brick and mortar sales. So if you go to, Tractor Supply and you buy something, the sales tax remains in the county if it happened at the brick and mortar location. However, if you order something online, those sales taxes are actually being passed on to Onslow County.
Wow.
And so that weren't much of a problem until relatively recently. There wasn't a lot in the way of online sales, and certainly our population down here has grown exponentially, and these tax dollars need to stay in the county.
Yes.
And so we have already gotten a response from Senator Ted Budd's office. He has been very proactive in getting back in touch with us, really here in just the last couple of weeks, and has begun to lobby the United States Postal Service in order to get this done as quickly as possible. So hopefully in the near future, I can't predict when, again, wheels turning slow, and they turn real slow at a federal level. Hopefully we can have a new zip code assigned to us and have a new post office. And in certain areas it's very confusing. BOG is cut in half. BOG is half Newport zip code and half Swansboro zip code. And you got a town that's 1 mile long that's cut in half in 2 different zip codes. It's really, really confusing. So hopefully we can get that resolved. So thank you for asking about that. Any additional questions about the zip code? Real tickled about the boat ramp. We did the groundbreaking there for that earlier, for the end of last week. Again, another long process.
Long process.
Yeah, and certainly happy to be there for that groundbreaking and to see that coming to a conclusion. It's going to be a really nice facility, 159 parking spaces, 6 boat ramps, and a floating dock for transient. It's dang hard if you're by yourself to drop your boat and park your truck. Now you got a place to tie your boat up, then go park your truck real quick.
Where is the boat ramp proposed?
Yes, sir. It's going east on Highway 24 from here. After you go through BOG and after you pass Goose Creek, Red Barn Road, it's going to be right there on your right. But before you get to that speedway station,
Okay.
You can see a little bit of construction that's happening there. They're putting the road in. I've lived here all my life, raised on Bogue Sound. More boats on the water is good and bad, I will admit that. But it's something that we need as far as additional public access. Really, the safety and convenience, because all of the other public boat ramps in our area are congested. The one to Cedar Point it's a nice location, but man, it's hard to put over there if the tide's ripping and the parking lot's full. So this is gonna be really nice once it's completed. We had to go through so many hurdles right here at the end.
Imagine.
As far as Army Corps of Engineer, had to have archaeological surveys to make sure there were no Native American remains, archaeological finds there. And then in partnership with the Coastal Federation, they're gonna have their facility there. They're moving from their Highway 24 position, the old cheese house, and they're gonna move down there. They're gonna have some walking trails through there connecting Bogue Sound to the National Forest, kind of like the Patsy Pond Trail. Little stations of, we can read about the various plants and animals that you might find in there. So real happy about that. And then finally, another long project is coming to fruition. And that's our hospital facility, or medical facilities coming here soon.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
We're gonna have a groundbreaking for that here at the end of the month. And they've already done a little bit of construction. Snow, of course, just like everybody else, has slowed it down a little bit. But that's going to begin. It is going to be an emergency service clinic. It's something that's been very popular. I see you shaking your head. Been very popular with our local fire departments, and as far as getting services very quickly, as far as EMS services.
Exactly where's that gonna be?
Right here, right here, as you turn on 24, on 58 on the 24, where it,
Right by Megan's Bay.
yep, right past that, there's apartments that are right there.
It's across from AutoZone.
You got some silt fences up already? Yes, sir. Right
I
there,
knew that one.
Right there, Commissioner Benson. So again, that's a long-term project, but, we're bringing it to fruition at this point. My daddy's been in the well drilling business for a long time. This is what you say. You say you can drink from the well, but you don't forget who dug it. And so certainly I don't want to take full credit for anything as far as those initiatives are concerned, but bringing them to a conclusion, a successful conclusion, is something to be proud of for all of us.
Yeah.
Countywide. And so that will be underway really soon. Questions about that anybody have as far as the emergency clinic? There's going to be some testing services eventually open there. A lot of our citizens down this way got to go clear to Pottsville to get a lot of testing. There's going to be a number of testing facilities that are going to be built after the emergency clinic is completed. That's a multi-year plan that the hospital has underway.
That's
So,
great.
Very
I'm
good.
excited about
Yeah.
that. That's money going out of the county again. People that
Yeah.
are driving out of the county, having to go there to those doctor's offices, might have transportation problems getting there. It's going to make it so much better and so much more convenient for our citizens. So that's going to be fantastic as well. And that's how are we paying for all this? The hospital itself is paying for that particular facility. Here at the boat ramp, that's all state and federal money, but it took local work, local effort to get it done. So I'm really happy about that. Any other questions?
No, that sounds
That
good.
sounds great.
Something I'd like to look at here is paving our local convenience sites. That's something I've been pushing for, is getting some asphalt down, some repairs made at the local trash dumps. One off of 24 there, Pringle Road. That's a little bit of a bumpy situation, literally, because it gets potholes in it, gives washboard. But because that goes through the National Forest, we're having to work through National Forestry Service to get that approved. And then the other convenience sites located here in western Carter County, I think need to be paved. We just paved the ones down east, now we need to have them paved down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, well, I
Great.
certainly thank y'all for having me out. I'll be able to share that resolution with you once it's been passed. And I believe that it will be with no problems whatsoever.
Thank you.
And hopefully that'll go right on. Thank you. I should say thank you, Commissioner Beerley, because that's something that really needs to be taken care of.
Well, hopefully everybody gets out. It's March 3rd.
Oh, well, I don't want to politic up here, and so
No.
everybody should go out and vote.
Hopefully March 3rd, everybody get out and vote the
Early
correct
voting
way.
starts Thursday.
It's
Thursday.
on Thursday.
Yes, sir. If y'all ain't got nothing else for me, I'd say thank you again for letting me come out,
Try to have it.
and hopefully my spaghetti and meatballs will be out here in a minute.
And I'll just let you know, I'll follow up on the roads later in the meeting under old business. I've got
Great.
A few more things, so.
Wonderful,
yeah.
good. So I should have that passed resolution for y'all
Okay, great.
Tuesday of next week.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
y'all
you.
so much for having me, I appreciate it.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Ms. Scott?
Hello, thank you for allowing me to speak. I am Ann Scott, running for District 1 School Board, and my family moved here in 2009 when my husband got out of the Army. He was a dentist, so he worked in Cape Carteret for a few years before he purchased that practice, and I've helped there as an administrative assistant, but more so with the family, and helped out at the church with the Sunday school program, and have served on numerous committees. I got involved with the schools when our oldest started kindergarten as a volunteer, and served on the PTO board for 9 years. And then when my youngest started kindergarten, I started substitute teaching, and I still do that all over the county. Love our school system, think we're doing a great job, especially compared to other counties in our state. I just love this community. I've served on numerous outreach and fundraising committees, including the one that built the trail in Cape Carteret, and helping with the hospital's fundraising gala. So I've just been able to work with businesses and members in the community and the schools to just see some really exciting things happen, and I hope to earn your support. So thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Scott? All right.
Sorry.
I was
Yeah,
just seeing if they would have. But anyhow, thank you for speaking, both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on. Code Enforcement Officer, Lieutenant Chris Jensen.
How are you this evening, guys? All right, just getting on to, I didn't really get a chance to speak last night because of the same situation we had with the sheriff candidates, so let me just get on to following up on what Mr. Quinn was talking about, that intersection. Last month, I did just a little non-scientific experiment where I hung out for an hour between the hours of about 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and I ended up pulling 25 cars over, I believe, just off the stop sign.
Wow.
I had a car pulled over from a stop sign violation. We'll look up the street and see another one coming and put them to the side of the road. So there's 25. I did that again this month, and my numbers were very similar. And 3 of the people have been stopped in my prior month's little drag. So lesson not learned. I didn't hand out any citations. I was just trying to get a pulse on what was going on at the stop sign. It's bad. It's really bad. Nobody pays attention to that stop sign. They look at it as a yield sign. They don't even do that properly. They blow right the heck through it. Bad. And then I went, I took another day where I went up and down Pelletier Loop Road since the speed limit has been changed. And my highest was a 55 mile per hour dude.
Just 35.
Just he was singing to a song, he told me, and he just lost track. I said, gotcha, okay, 55.
In the ice?
I know, but we didn't have the ice when I did it yet. It was coming. I had to, Big Feet to Alabama, different story. But that was that. And then, of course, in the prior month's little investigation I was doing was Fire Tower Road, and I told you that I encountered a bunch of stuff there with a drunk driver at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
So
That's pretty scary.
yeah, he actually got a little bit more than just, you need to stop what you're doing, sir. But hey, what are you gonna do? All right, as far as my my real job for the town, the code enforcement part of this, I dealt with the complaints last month from the ones I always deal with. in my little pile of people, my bat list, and I talked to them. The man at 1105 has a boat in his property that hasn't moved in about 2 months, and it's sitting right in the parking lot, like he parked it there. I don't know if anybody's noticed this.
Oh, yeah.
Where at?
It has not been,
Blackbeards.
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yes.
not been registered in a number of years, so I can just tow it just by our little town ordinance. Just have that thing yanked right out. It's kind of a question I have for you guys. Do you want me to get the owner to try to get it out himself at his expense, or should I just call a tow truck and get that thing yanked?
And have it charged to him.
Yes, but that's gonna be a more costly endeavor for us. We're gonna have to lay out the money and then, of course, go back after him. Do you want me to try another month to try to get this fella to do it?
I'll give him a week.
Okay, I'll give him a week.
That's up to the board though.
I'm good with a week.
You good with the week?
It's on that truck.
I'm talking about that speedboat he
Oh,
has
the
in the
big
parking
boat,
lot
yeah, yeah.
with no trailer, just sits
Yeah.
on its all right there in the parking spot.
Where's this?
It's right up at 1105 Highway 58 at the old.
Okay.
The old dive, yeah. What an eyesore that place is, right in my front yard.
Yeah, the lawnmower warehouse.
Can you
Yeah.
get the mattress that goes along with it?
Maybe I can put that inside the boat.
He's got a serious water leak somewhere behind that building.
It's disgusting.
Well,
I mean, you can
about
see it.
every 3 days when you ride, the water's running out of the parking lot, running down toward Dollar General.
Yeah.
So there's a serious water leak back there somewhere.
Yes, I know, it's affecting Dollar General because I saw some people surveying that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to fix that. But that's a side issue, that's beyond my scope. I'm just gonna go after this guy for said boat in parking
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, okay. And then, of course, we have our usual suspects on my list that you guys know very well. And I deal with them on a per diem basis, and I try to get them to comply with it. And they comply to a point, and then they backslide, they comply, and they backslide. So, eventually they'll comply, maybe early, maybe I'll just find them, we don't know, but there it is. So moving on to the Town of Peltier's Sheriff's Office call log. The town generated 45 calls for service last month, a slow month indeed. I believe that probably had something to do with that week of snowed-in conditions. Oh, by the way, congratulations on being the highest snow in Oregon.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I was in Alabama driving home from the University of Alabama, and I was listening to it on the radio. I was like, ah! And then they had 35 calls for service in their ETJ. Their grand total of 80 calls for last month, and I've included the logs on the back there so you can see what kind of calls we were dealing with. And that's the same as we always do with the domestics, the fighting, the neighborly disputes, that kind of good stuff. Do you have any questions of me while I stand up here?
Thank you
Oh, you're welcome.
for working on those roads and doing
Yes.
that, so really.
And like I said, my final, I'll give it another couple goes, just to, nail down the numbers a little. But, I mean, on average, if I sit out that traffic sign every morning, I'm gonna pull over at least 15 cars.
But
Not
with,
surprised.
with your new car, you even look like a
Now
cop
I
now.
switch cars. You blow the line. So, there it is. And I'll-
15
I'll
cars
keep
on a
that
2-lane
for you
road with
guys.
35 mile an hour speed limit.
All right, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
All right, next is West Carter Fire and EMS report. Chief Dustin Clapp. Everybody, this is our chief. He's our interim chief right now. Hopefully we can get him in as our full-time chief soon.
Hopefully so. Like you said, I'm interim chief, fire and EMS interim chief Dustin Clapp. It's my honor to be here. Never gave one of these before, so if I ramble or if I get long-winded, just throw something at me and cut me off. So last month in January, we ended with 143 calls for service. That's about 40 calls less than we ran last January. Last January was abnormally busy for us for January, so about 143 to 150 is where we've been consecutively since about 2021, 22, and 23. It's about 22.3% down from what we normally run. Here in Pelletier, we ran 13 EMS calls, 1 fire call, and then 5 service calls for a total of 19 calls. The fire call, I believe, was a fire alarm activation due to overcooked food. And the medical calls were, I say routine, but they were your standard chest pains, stroke calls, sick calls, things like that. And the service calls were lip assist, smoke detector checks, and installations and things like that. February, I expect the numbers would be drastically higher due to the snow apocalypse that we just got. We ran, I think, 42 or 44 calls in about 48 hours. Wow. And a good chunk of those were in the Pelletier area, mostly stranded motorists and checking well-being of motorists. Had some fire alarm activations, and have had quite a bit of medical calls not related to the snow in the Pelletier and the Stella and Pelletier district this month. So I expect those calls this month will probably be closer up to about 180, 185. Do I have any other questions for me?
Well, we ended up last year, we didn't get a end of the year report, but 2,162 calls last year.
2,162, yes, sir. That is our busiest year on record.
Yeah.
That beat the previous year. I believe I don't have it on this list, but that beat the previous year by a little over 100 calls.
Yeah.
And what we call those are true calls. So what we used to do is whenever Onslow needed automatic aid or mutual aid for our ambulance to come there, they would call Carteret County Communications and put us on standby. So we would generate a run number for that call. Well, we don't do that anymore. So the 100, 110 surplus of calls that we had ran last year were actual medical calls where we truly responded and rendered medical aid or either automatic aid for fires to Bear Creek, Hubert, or either Swansboro area.
Yeah, I remember, I've been involved with the fire department 17 years now, and I think when I started, it was around 800 calls, you know?
Yeah.
And now to see it up to over 2,100, it is
It's
something else.
early in the year, but with the growth that's coming, it would not surprise me if we hit 2,300 calls this year. And that's bragging on my crews, but that's a lot of calls for 2 stations and 9 personnel a day. If you'll look, and I will start to include this on the report I'm doing, my report's just a little bit different, a little more informative than we've done them in the past. But as of this morning, 28.8% of our calls are overlapping calls. So it's where we have more than one either fire truck or ambulance out. So, and about 16% of those calls are third out calls. So us implementing an additional medic truck last year has definitely helped take some of the call volume off and allowing us to actually answer more calls in our district versus having Brighton Gales come down or County Medic 3 come down or anywhere I'll come over. So we are responding to many more calls in our district ourselves and not really having to rely on automatic aid, which then frees them up to run calls in their district as well.
And when I start, ambulance got stuck out there where I live.
They did. We had 5 calls drop in about 40 minutes, so we were pulling people, and they were 5, when I say, I hate to use the word decent calls, but they were 5 legitimate calls with really sick people, or either fire alarm activations or smoke in the house. So we definitely rely on them a lot. They come over and help us out, and we go over there and help them out quite a bit as well. So we have a good mutual aid, automatic aid relationship with all of our partners, and that's something that we train on multiple times a month now. We're building up those resources because we are all here for the same reason. It doesn't matter if it says MRI or Western Carteret or Brighton Gales on your truck. We're all there to assist the community. And the residents don't care what it says on the side of your truck. They just want us to work well together and get there and mitigate the emergency the best that we can. So we have over the last few months implemented a lot of training that we've been doing with our automatic aid partners, and it's working really, really well. I'm very happy with the progress.
The ambulance that we ordered 4 years ago, have we gotten it yet?
It will be here middle of March. We're sending a crew on February 26th to do the final inspection on it. It has been ready for a while, but they outsource some of the parts on the medic truck. And one of the parts are the window that goes in between the cab and the actual patient compartment, and it's been back ordered for 4 months. Wow. A home. A
Now,
metal hole.
and if y'all didn't catch that, we ordered this 4 years ago. It takes that long to get it.
Yeah, it will be here, they guarantee by the middle of March, as long as we don't find anything catastrophic, which I don't anticipate with Braun, because they've always done really well. Then it will be on the road. And then that medic truck will actually go to Station 2 to be the medic truck out there, and then we'll rotate some units around to try to keep the mileage off the medic trucks as much as we can. The hospital coming will be a great help with that. Allow us to push back our remounts that we have to do quite a bit. Now we might have a 5 or 10 mile transport versus a 30, 40 mile turnaround time. So we are excited about the hospital coming. That is definitely going to be a great asset for our community. Yeah, they will be able to do a lot there. I think they estimate 10,000 patients a month. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to drastically help us. We can take our strokes there because of the imaging center, possibly take our dialysis patients there that now we have to take all the way to New Bern. So definitely a much needed asset, and we are very grateful that it's coming.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much mileage that y'all have to put on the ambulances to transport.
Easy 100,000 miles, close to 100,000 miles a year.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah, and they're supposed to last what, 7 years maybe, and but with the mileage y'all putting on, it's no way.
We have them scheduled for remounts at about every 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I think you're now, probably a year or two from now when the hospital actually gets up running, we'll actually be able to see that we can probably push them out to 5 to 7 years. So we're getting a whole lot more life out of our medic trucks then.
Yeah.
You said that's like, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
What, you may not be able to answer, why are they that slow, or are they government workers or what?
Nobody can answer. Nobody can answer that question. We're looking at, in the future, we are going to have to spec another fire truck, and I was speaking to some manufacturers this week, and they say 48 to 55 months turnaround time from the time you order the truck. So you're looking at 4 to 5 years almost from the time that you actually place the order for the fire truck, and then you've got many months involved in specing it to get it right. There's some bills in Congress right now that's trying to pass to figure out why, and researching what it takes. What a lot of manufacturers have done is came out with what they call spec trucks. So they're about 75 to 90% of what most people would request on a fire truck. And then they are able to push them out, but those are still 2 to 2.5 years out if you get a spec truck. If you get a spec truck, then you're you can't customize it with so much, but you kind of take the spec truck and get one sooner and not have it exactly the way that you want it, or you completely customize one and build it and wait 4 years now.
This is not planned to us either, but how small are coming along with their ladder truck or whatever that.
I've heard a lot of different stories about
I
their ladder truck.
read the papers on it.
Yeah, I've heard some different stories of how it's going. I'm not sure. I have not had a chance to speak with Chief Randall on that matter. We spent a good chunk of the day over in Foxborough working on some training and some things that we're working on in the future. But I was going to ask him about that, but I completely forgot. Yes, I'm not sure what the status of that truck is.
Well, I tell you what, I know I am, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm pretty sure I can. We just took it to death with our fire EMS.
Yes,
absolutely.
We could not do it without the support from you all, and we love our residents, we love all of our towns, and we are blessed that you guys play a big part in our success.
I just wish everybody in the county would feel the same way about it.
We're working on it.
Okay, any more questions for the chief?
Thank y'all for allowing me to speak. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Financial report.
And 129.26, we had $334,917.69 in the bank. And that's the general fund. Now, money, we have $46,437.74. Any questions on that?
Nope. No, sir. Anybody have any questions? All right, planning report?
Planning report, we have a new board member that was sworn in, Haley Ritson, and I think she'll be a good asset for us. And we had the land use plan, which we have passed it on to the commissioners, and there's other loops and jumps and bounds that we're gonna have to go through, and hopefully we can get this passed. But the commissioners have control of it at this time. And our planning board personnel policy discussions, we have tabled that until the commission decides what our part will be in this process. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners report. Commissioner Bragg, you have anything?
Sorry I couldn't make it last month. As you know, things pop up. I'm glad we did get the Deaton Drive and Pelletier Shores dug out. As far as our ditches and all that.
We did?
I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know if he's gotten there or not.
She said that,
Yeah, the Henrys.
Yeah.
Mr. Henrys. I ran into them at the grocery store, and she said, thank you, thank you, thank you. The ditches are cleaned out, they look beautiful, and they appreciate it.
Okay.
so yeah, I had heard from Nikki, and of course, can't deny it, but that was good news to hear, seeing it went back all the way from October.
Yeah. Well, we're part of the government. We move slow.
We should move a little bit faster than some of the other people. And speaking of moving slow and hearing about, how long it takes to get just a truck, and I know I harp on this every year or so about the 5-year plan, which we haven't really narrowed down a whole lot of it, but we've been clarifying and narrowing down all these ordinances and the land use plan and a lot of these, paperwork type things. But as we know, moving forward to where if we were ever to have a public works department or a police department or whatnot, or sending out these grant letters for like a debris truck and things like that. These are all dominoes and places that are going to happen in the future, but it all starts with the first domino, and that's getting our next building up, and then refabbing this and having, not saying we need to do it right away, but we need to have sort of a broad spectrum plan on, can you house equipment and things like that, where we're not contracting out work. Every year we have, an employee for that once the time fits. I'm not saying now, but
Right.
we need to get that first domino rolling, in other words. I'm not a smart man, I just have a lot of questions, and I know that they all revolve around that first thing turning around. So I just urge the board to, either form a committee or do some research or, look at an overall plan to get those processes moving.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's something we should start on. Can't go forward if we don't start, like you said, at the foundation there, the base.
Yeah, because we have other funds other than what Walter said right there. Because we have a community building account with over 74,000 in it. Then we have 2 CDs with over 50,000 in them. We have other funds.
And then we'll probably still be in a little bit of debt at the end of the day, but, for a young growing town, it's just like a young growing business.
Yeah.
90% of them start off in debt before they're successful, before they're out of debt later.
Well, you figure our tax rate at 5.5 cents is one of the lowest in the county.
Right.
And even at that rate, we bought $95,000 in ad value alone.
Right, and it
You
will
know.
continue to grow.
And we're gonna, yeah,
So
So
how
I
do we
wanna
start?
grow along with it. In other
yeah,
words.
yeah, and you're correct, we need to. You know, I think it's something that we all ought to look into. First, we gotta house what we have, what we will eventually have.
Right.
So it's having a building that can house it, so
Right.
I'm with you.
Because if you don't start, you're never gonna finish.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we should maybe start putting something together.
Gotta start turning that wheel.
Yes, sir.
Pay for this town hall.
Right?
Yeah,
Hey, we were fortunate to get this. I mean, when we got this, I think it was 192,000 for this place and the lot next door.
That's a deal.
so how do we start this process?
Well, I guess we need 2 or 3 of you. Can 3 of them form a committee? Okay. To where, decide which way we're heading, you know?
Gotcha.
What building we need to start with, I guess. Yep.
Yeah.
Size, height. And then start getting bids for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would even go back and look at the, the plot plan of everything, thinking of not just that building, but, secondary building or garages and old equipment.
Right.
And say, down the road, we did get a grant for that large debris truck. We've already proven that we can dig out of a hurricane cheaper than FEMA can.
Right.
Imagine if there was a $4,000 plow laying around and you had that big truck.
That would have been nice.
Granted, as soon as you buy a plow, it's not gonna snow again.
Eventually.
But,
We'll all donate to that.
but if that keeps it from snowing, God works in mysterious ways.
We'll just let it sit out there and rust. Till it
With all those, and a police station or, a force of some sort, like I said, it's all those things fall behind that first one. And first one's kind of planning out
And
where
then,
we put it, how big of this building do we need? I know we had that, that deal on one that fell through, but, would it be so much as a really big building or maybe 2 small separate entities? I don't know. It would take more questions.
yeah, we would have to check on that because, like I say, you get over a certain size, then the building's gonna have to have water sprinklers and there's a lot more involved than just putting the building up, since it is a commercial building.
Sure, and that's why you would be very valuable for all that information that we don't.
So you ready to form a committee, guys?
I'm ready.
I'm in.
Mayor, just a quick point, if you are gonna form a committee of 3, since that is a quorum of the board, they would have to meet in public, obviously, but just wanna point that out. that-
Okay, that's what I was concerned about, so.
They
How
haven't
about-
necessarily got to be on the board to be on the committee, does it? Yeah, we have some citizens on the committee. Or-
There you go.
I don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 2.
And I could be on it,
I know nothing.
and that wouldn't be a quorum, because
Oh,
I don't have a vote, correct?
oh.
It's 2 commissioners and the mayor. I'm wrong, huh?
Technically not wrong. I'd probably wanna look at Robert's rules on that, just to make sure, and the state regulations, because you being a member of the board, even non-voting, may still potentially put you on quorum rate, but let me look at it this month and I'll get back to you. I just wanna make sure if you are gonna form a committee that public meeting rules are followed,
Yeah.
to the extent necessary.
I
Okay.
thought a quorum was half plus one, so that'd be three.
Yeah,
plus
but
one.
you can't have, I know you can't have more than 2 commissioners meeting together. You know, so
You have a board of
it's a
five,
little different.
you have a board of 5 board members, so 3 of them will be a quorum.
Yeah.
Right.
You, even as a non-voting member, again, that's a little bit of a gray area, but gray areas are where I want to go and look at the rules just to make sure that we're not violating anything.
All
And
right.
check also if we had like 2 of us commissioners and 1 or 2 public people.
If I
Yeah.
can, if you want to be.
Right, yeah.
Thank you, that's all I have.
All right. Don?
All right, I have a couple things. First of all, I got contacted from Raleigh, the DOT there. They wanted to know if I would participate again in the bicycle safety education and helmet giveaway like I did a couple of years ago. Just as a reminder, we held these bike safety classes and helmet distribution and had help from members of the board and from the fire department, from personnel from the fire department. So I'm interested in doing this again, but I thought instead of doing it in my name, I could apply on behalf of the town of Pelletier. And I would still file, the application. You have to do reports. I don't mind. I'll do all that and get it all set up. But I wanted to know what everyone thought about that.
I think it's a great idea.
Sounds good to me.
So I'll do it through the town of Pelletier. I'll put my
We can
name on
vote
it.
on that.
I talked to Chief Clapp. He's interested in we could have the helmets delivered to the fire department again and kind of use maybe open house or what other events are available to distribute.
Absolutely.
All right, great, okay. And I want to segue into something else because of that. I don't know if you all remember, but when Brett was here, the other attorney, he mentioned, well, I think maybe we need to consider having a formal town hall use policy, which we don't really have. And I know Brett said that we would have to put that together. And just to clarify, who can use the town hall, define permitted uses, all those things. And are you all interested in maybe now going down that road of having a formal policy so we can use this town hall?
Well, I know if it's, the previous board has voted that we're not letting anybody use it, but if it's a committee of, town members, for town business,
So if it's a
Wouldn't
town
be.
event, we'll be okay? Because if it's a town event, like if we're doing the helmet distribution and it's representing the town and.
yes, that would be a town event.
Because remember, we had there was someone not happy about it a couple
Yeah,
of years
Right,
ago.
yeah.
And I just want to avoid that. But Brett did, I went back and reviewed those meetings and he said what we would have to do is adopt, if we wanted to use it, we could lay out the parameters, just adopt a formal policy.
Since
Yeah.
you're not doing anything else.
What was that?
Since you're not doing anything else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
But that,
I get
we could look into that, but I think if, being you're a commissioner and you wanted to use this building, that's why you should have a key to this building to get in.
Okay,
I don't know if you have one yet,
No.
but
I don't.
usually we try to make sure the commissioners have a right to come in to the
Okay.
use of the building.
Yeah, I just like to be able to, if we're gonna do this, if we're representing the town, just kind of open it up to people if we're gonna do a bike safety thing.
Yeah.
Maybe do it here without any issues.
Just no tar marks on the carpet.
Really? No wheels?
Peel the wheels.
I guess even if, say the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts or something, they can't even use the building now, can they?
Not as it is right now, not with the we don't have a policy for it.
I think I remember what that was all about. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to look into it somehow.
I
Yeah,
mean, maybe we
okay.
could look at it and maybe send it over to the planning board and let them kind of look at it and maybe put.
And
let
might need
them-
to check with the other townships and see what they allow theirs to be used as. And we don't have to go, of course, right by theirs, but we
Right.
can maybe get some ideas or what we don't want to do.
Right, because some of them have fees and, you know, they have requirements and we can, I mean, maybe this is something that the planning board can look into.
Okay. All right, let's put that on the planning board's agenda. Give them some more to do since Carlton's gonna load them up anyhow next month.
Okay, how do you want this worded? Put it on the planning board to set up,
Town hall use policy?
Yeah, town hall use policy. Okay. Is that it, Miss Beard?
Yes, it's all for right now.
Okay.
I'm good.
Walter? All right, so am I. All right, then we'll go to new business, which is, changing the time back to 6:30. Or, you know, we changed the time because the planning board had a lot going on, so we changed it to 6:45, their start time. So we'd like to change our meeting back to 6:30.
You need a motion on that?
Oh, yes.
Second.
I made the motion, Walter second. Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have a motion and a second to change your meeting time back to 6:30. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Public comment.
Changing the time, can we put a plus 5 or 10 minutes on the back end of the
We're gonna cut you off,
planning board
Ron.
meeting?
No, if,
He's fixing to load us up.
yeah, but if y'all run long, at least we could start right after. We don't have to wait like we did tonight.
Right. That's what plus or minus 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, anybody else? All right, next is the old business, the DOT road safety review.
Okay, so this is an update. Commissioner Quinn covered a lot of what I was gonna say tonight, and I'll just follow up with some additional information. As you all know, our resolution was adopted last month, and it was sent to DOT, State Representative Celeste Cairns, Carlton, and he had me send it to ECC, someone that handles transportation with ECC. Okay, so I sent that, this is what I sent to them, the resolution, a detailed packet regarding the intersection, the Highway 58 corridor speed transition, repainting the lines on Highway 58 and any necessary reflectors that needed to be replaced, the Pettiford cultivar, is that how you say that?
Culvert.
What is it?
Culvert.
Yeah, that, off of Highway 58 that I know Commissioner Bragg is working on. And I also sent up the petition with the signatures from the residents pertaining to that intersection. And I know Commissioner Quinn's gonna follow up with another resolution after the next meeting. Subsequently, Representative Cairns copied me in on a letter she followed up with to DOT. I have to say, did you get a copy of that letter? It was very strong and supportive, offering state assistance to us, agreeing with us that the intersection was dangerous and awkward. So I really appreciate the strength of that letter that she sent to DOT. I thought it was really, I'm hoping it'll be really effective. I reached out to Mr. Hunter. He's with Division 2 DOT and a Miss Houston. Mr. Hunter replied to me with a very supportive letter and said he'd be conducting a review of the intersection and all the other towns' concerns. Mayor Sowers and I asked to be present when DOT is there at that intersection, when they're doing that evaluation and review, so we can, because we've been down this road before a couple years ago, so hopefully they'll call us for that.
Yeah, because when they came out to do their review, it was the time of day, there was no traffic. They're not coming when there's a traffic problem.
Right, which makes such a difference, yeah.
Yes.
It'll be there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 7:30 in the morning.
Right.
7:30 in the morning, yeah.
Exactly. So it's interestingly, there's been a lot of social media posts recently with numerous complaints about that intersection and people running the stop sign and failing to yield the right of way and wanting improvements. And they're not just people from Pelletier, it's people that pass through. So I'm just hoping with a collaborative effort this time that we can get something done.
Maybe Chris's report would help.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry, Carlton, go ahead.
I think everything you're doing is great. And I talked with Nikki again this afternoon about it, the RPO director. And he said, he reiterated to me that the safety unit at DOT usually doesn't improve intersections like that until after there's been serious accidents.
So,
Which I don't like that reasoning.
It's kind of stupid.
I'm not crazy about that reasoning, but that's how they're reactive. They're kind of reactive.
right.
Yeah.
But I think what you're doing, showing, I mean, you're demonstrating that there is an issue. And I agree with you. I've been through that intersection a few times. I agree
Yeah.
with you, there's an issue. But that's been, I'm hoping, by talking to people higher up, you can get something
Right.
moving. But that's the big problem with trying to get issues resolved with DOT when it comes to safety issues.
So I'm just gonna say, I was told, that's what I thought a couple of years ago when I started getting involved, before I was on any board here, when I was getting involved with these roads. And I talked to Mr. Hamilton. He was in charge of DOT up in, I think in Greenville. He was a supervisor up there. And I brought that up and he said, that's kind of an old school way of doing things when they look how many deaths is what they used to look at. Mm-hmm. But he said they don't look at that anymore. And that's what he told me several years back. And, I do feel we have a very detailed packet put together with all the issues that are highlighted, including some really good pictures that show the awkwardness. So that's why I asked that Mayor Sowers and I both be called when they have this study, because doing nothing isn't really it's not a really good option.
I agree.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you said and I understand, but I'm gonna fight that.
Well, I think all before it was, you and a few others. Now, there's a whole lot of people involved
There's a
in it.
whole lot. We've got
the county's got in on it
and the state.
And the state.
And
So,
you said you talked to other people within the county, some other offices, and I think all of that, the power of all of that, along with this, what Representative Karen said, is hopefully gonna make a difference this time.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I have nothing.
Anybody have any questions for us?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, there's no other business. Does any commissioners have any more comments they'd like to make? All right. Then next is, do I hear a motion to go into closed session in pursuit of North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11 A6 for permitted purpose of discussing personnel.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to go in closed session. All in favor, say aye.
I'll see you next week.
All right. All right, we'll go into closed session.
Thank you.